All right, this is going to be Nomad project video number 1. This is Roger. Got a little guess who going on. The garage is warm, got the fireplace going, and just got back from the Turkey Run car show in Daytona, and also went to Moultrie. Hey, but real quick here, this is going to be my typical build. This is going to be a Ford Explorer rear end, posi traction, pulled out the junkyard. And it actually came out of a Mountaineer, but same difference. Got the tags off. It is a posi lock or a track lock, they call it, true lock. And draining the old oil out of it right now. And I like to see nice clean oil lights coming out of this sucker. All this will be taken off. And I'm actually going to shorten the long length of this. Let me show you this real quick. And I saw a guy on YouTube do this, and he looked like pretty doggone professional. So what I've done here is, through Summit Racing, I've ordered the shorter version of the shaft here. And then basically you got to cut this thing about 3.5 inches down. I'll do it exactly, and put it in here. And while I'm back here, this is going to be the front end of the Nomad. Tubular A-arms, uppers and lowers, drop spindles, huge 13-inch disc brakes and Corvette calipers in that little white box right there. This is what's called a CCP 500 box. So I've basically been putting all my parts together, and now since I got a little break and the winter season is here, cold out here, warm inside here, I can actually start on it. This is my 1955 Nomad I picked up in a place called Keller, Texas. Found it on Craigslist. Quick story there, the guy kept hanging up on me when I was calling from Germany because he thought I was a scammer. And then I called up a buddy of mine, Pat, in Pilot Point. And he's actually Pat's Auto Sales, and I bought a whole bunch of trucks from him last year. And he actually called the guy up, happened to know the guy, and says, Roger, moi, is not a scammer. So I flew over a couple of days later and gave the guy cash money for a rust-free 55 Nomad with a Texas title, so I'm good to go. Unfortunately, this thing has the original 265 V8 along with the Power Glide, along with the rear end. Everything is bone stock original, to include the interior. And the first thing I've already done here, if you can read my writing here, is I've done my vent window delete. I've had a Bel Air in the past, a 55, and I've always wanted to do that. So I've opened this completely up right now, and right now I'm having the glass cut here in Germany. These windows I've replaced this back window right here. It was cracked, and done little stupid things like this right here. Replaced this one line right here. So everything's in here. The car is very solid, and this isn't going to be one of those projects like I did with my 36 Plymouth over here that crashed on the Autobahn last year. This is going to be basically bolt-in stuff with the exception of the 4-link rear end I just bought. So the concept is there. I've got most of it up in here. I've still got to make myself a list that I usually keep up here and just go through the process. The BMW seats that came out of the crash car will go right back into the Nomad. The LS3 from Summit Racing, I think it's a 2015, 2016, the 430 horsepower version, is also going to go right back into the Nomad after I harvest the engine. And what I had to do up here, that's what's called a muscle oil pan, or a muscle car oil pan, like $211 from GM Performance Parts through Summit Racing. And you basically have to flip that out on the bottom right here because I've got cross steer or cross linkage going across the bottom of it. And these are just some pre-59 small block Chevys that I'm putting back together, and you've probably seen these in other videos. Motors, the old Enya motors, those are good suckers, and those are next candidates for what we call Germany's mini bike building club. So this is the RMC, the Rhein-Main Cruisers mini bike building club, and actually put these things together. Not a frame bought or a kit. Those are actually hand bent and hand assembled mini bikes, and the Rhein-Main Cruisers actually put that together. So there's a couple of videos on that. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much here. I'm going to start disassembling the rear axle, and again, cut about 3.5 inches out of right here. Then TIG weld it back together, making sure I get all the measurements, put the new axle in there. Germans call it Steckachse. And then I've got new disc while I got it apart, new pads. reassemble this thing, and then right here is where I'm going to actually weld my four-link onto. So basically the axle just has to be clean, and I'm going to slide it right underneath there. I've got the motor transmission rear end actually on German eBay Kleinanzeigen right now, and that's about it. So take care. Bye. All right, no, I'm not a Michael Jackson fan, but let me show you what I'm doing right here. This is the I guess what we can call the vent window delete. So what I'm going to do here, since I cut out these little two pieces right here, this used to be brace support. I'm going to actually just got myself this piece of stainless steel. It's pretty stiff. I'm going to tuck it right up underneath here like this. And it's going to sit right up in here. Kind of hard to see. And what it does, I drilled all these little bitty holes right here. And I'm actually just going to tack weld it on this back side right here. And what that's going to do is going to stop this, whoops, it's going to stop this flex right here. You see that? Let's go stop a little bit of it, because that's what this right here was intended to do when I cut these braces out here. And then that's it right here. And now the kind of cool thing is I went and got myself this from the Bauhaus yesterday, which is like your Home Depot. And this is exactly the same size as my template. And see this right down here? It's going to be connected right down here, because I need this piece right here to weld on to up here to complete the window that I took out right here. Anyway, that's the plan. I think it'll work. And then I'll take my, my particle board I have today, or Formica, whatever you want to call it, and I'll make myself a Schablone, a template. And then I'm going to take the old window regulators that I had in the 36 Plymouth back there, and I'm going to put them in here. I already measured them. They go up and down enough, and that's my project for today. Anyway, take care. Roger here. So what I got now is I actually had this in the track, got my window on here, and I just spot welded just a little bit. I know it looks like shit right now, but I'll try to polish it up a little bit later on and do a complete TIG weld. What's important here, that this is straight, which it is, and then this is straight right here. So this is what the inside's going to look like right here. So I don't think it's a bad deal. And then now when I have my glass cut, I'll just have to take this piece right here and extend it. Once I put my fur track right here, window lace, window track, whatever you want to call it, the nice little stainless steel bead, that sits right up in here like that. And then I've got a piece of molding that goes in here, and now basically this slides up and down here, and I'll extend the track in the back.